Amina Rekic last week.
Yeah, not just last week, Taryn. I think throughout the course of the season, what I love about Amina Rekic, and in today's modern game where we want to play 2-3 touch, she's a player that wants to face up to the defenders and take them on. You know, she's attempted 90 dribbles during the season. 40 of those has been successful, and I just love her positivity. As soon as she gets the ball at her feet, she wants to drive forward and make it difficult for the defender.
Would you say that it's that dribbling ability that makes her so good in this league?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think the uniqueness of dribblers in today's game, they are a dime a dozen, and the dribbling, and it's the quality at the end of it. And what Amina Rekic has also, not just the ability to take players on, but her delivery of crosses into the danger areas is really impressive.
The City players gathering in their huddle pre-match stern words, and the Mariners making their way to their own huddle. Ergamal in there, the Chinese international, 8 goals now for her this season. She's been so fantastic this season.
I've loved watching her. I've loved watching Ergamal come into this league. She's created so many chances. 41 scoring opportunities Ergamal has created. Now she's got a bit more support from Badawia, from Bryson, from Kaya Simon as well. But she has been an excellent signing by Emily Husband.
The way she's integrated into the team, her teammates love her. It really speaks to the culture of the Mariners, doesn't it?
Yeah, and again, credit to Emily Husband. Coming from a standing start before the season, the team back into the A-League Women. They've got so much history in this competition, and I think she's done a wonderful job getting that cohesiveness of the squad.
Well, for the first time since New Year's Eve, it's Kate Jakowitz back as our central official today. She's assisted by Joanna Caracas and Laura Moya, and the fourth official is Caitlin Williams. Well, the team's making their way to the middle to kick us off. It's Kaya Simon and the Matilda with the ball at her feet. Of course, fantastic to see her fit and firing. A blockbuster clash here this afternoon between third and fourth. Carly Ross back in. She'll be hoping to keep out the likes of Kaya Simon this afternoon. Simon patiently awaiting the referee's signal to get us underway. Captain's armband on today for her as well. So the referee's whistle gets us underway. It's Melbourne City in third, taking on the Central Coast Mariners in fourth. A crucial clash that will determine the makeup of the top 6. Of course, both sides secure in finals football, but the premiership still very much up for grabs, as is a place in the top 2 and an ability to avoid an elimination final in round 1.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing these two differing styles of play from these two teams. Melbourne City, where attack is the best form of defence, and Central Coast Mariners, who have been built on this very solid foundation of a very compact defensive unit. And now with the addition, as I say, the front four, Badawia, Ergamal, Faye Bryson joining in as well, and Kaya Simon, they're really starting to fire at the right end of the season, and the cohesiveness of this team has been impressive to see across the course of the season as well.
Of course, Simon not just adding goals, although she scored 3 of them so far, as Shelby McMahon gets rid of that second ball on the pitch, early multi-ball. But it's also her ability to bring in her teammates. We've seen a little bit of that so far. Here's Ergamal playing it forward and appeals for a foul, not given. That time, though, the foul is given against the Mariners, so City will have an opportunity to play out from the back.
You can just see the City defenders really. Rebecca Stott was right up behind Badawia there, trying not to give her any space so she can play in those second runners as well.
Really look at the dribbling ability of Rekic. Ross Backen's pass is intercepted by Annabelle Martin. Rebecca Stott scored for City last time these two sides met. It was very much a captain's performance, that goal from her, a long-range effort. Ball searching for Hannah Wilkinson. can't get there ahead of Ash Irwin, who does well. Sliding challenge to get in the way. City in possession again. Briley Henry has been playing as more of a wing back in recent weeks. Bit of a change in position for her. Here she is again, Henry, looking for the overlapping runs, cut out by Simon, who was dropping deep, and now the Mariners win the free kick.
Well, it's been a solid intensity, hasn't it, for this first couple of minutes. Really see that the Central Coast Mariners are going to want to put pressure on this Melbourne City team high up the pitch. We know Dario Vidicic has them playing. They play out so well under pressure. Once they break through that first line of pressure, then that makes it very, very difficult to defend as the opposition. So we're going to see what usually is a transitional game for Central Coast Mariners, and where Melbourne City, they really want to control the tempo, and we know they've always got the majority of possession.
Melbourne City, of course, most possession, most passes in the league by a significant way. Taylor Otto, in fact, in defence or defensive midfield on different occasions, has a passing accuracy of over 90%, which really speaks to her ability, but also the way that the team plays, controlling that play, controlled build-up. Here come the Mariners, though. Bryson, pass intercepted. Simon does really well to win that. She's got space in front of her. She'll play it out wide to Ergamal. Ergamal looking for options. Simon, header, appeals for handball. Not given. Kate Jakowitz, the referee, just motioning to her shoulder, saying that it hit the top half of the arm and not the bottom. We'll have to wait and see a replay for that one. But an early opportunity for the Mariners nonetheless.
That's right, winning that ball back. Kai Simon in those middle areas, always dangerous because she's always going to look to run directly at you. And just see that fluidity as well of Ergamal when she pulled out on that left-hand side into that wide area. The flexibility and the adaptability of these front players just to interchange in their positions will be something Melbourne City will be very aware of today.
City pressing high as well, looking to win the ball. They've done so. Although a foul in the process by Erkic. Just a little bit too forceful on the Mariners player there.
Early react. And go M. Go Bradley. Good.
And this is where the Mariners might run into some problems, because as you say, they're normally a transitional side. If City sit off and let them try and play out from the back, it might lead to some high turnovers.
Yeah, potentially. You could hear Dario Vidicic as well, just in the commentary, urging them to step up, to step on in those wide areas. As soon as that ball goes wide for Central Coast Mariners, I think that's where Melbourne City will want to try and lock them into one side, rather than allow them to come back and switch back out and utilise what pace they have up front.
Jasmine Wardlow with the throw for the Mariners. Possession one in midfield. Heavy touch though from Badawea. Oh, high interception from Annabelle Martin. She did really well to nip in there. Just couldn't get the ball under control.
Yeah, and you can see how high the Central Coast Mariners are. They do want to put City under pressure.
And again, nearly. Annabelle Martin's just there, just lurking. She's played under her husband for a number of years, played in her Sydney University side where she played in that kind of role. And there's Badawea as well, really pressing high on City's Brazilian goalkeeper, Barbara.
Yeah, they're certainly having it going, aren't they? And probably uncharacteristic mistakes under pressure like this from Melbourne City. Usually they're quite calm and collected and can play those little triangles and get themselves out of trouble, but just a couple of stray passes.
Ball delivered in from Karen Bassis, cleared away. Now switch of play on the way back from Isabel Gomez. Now to Ash Irwin. No appeals for handball from the City bench against Bianchi Galich, not given. Ball delivered back in the middle. Kaya Simon. on the edge of the area, looking to play a little ball in behind. Can't get there. Barbara comes and collects.
We've seen that a couple of times with Kaya Simon, as I say. As soon as, even if she's getting her back towards goal, she had the presence of mind there. This previous, the handball. I mean, I would have been unlucky, wouldn't I? I think Kate Jakowicz was saying that was ball to hand. I don't think it was in an unnatural position. I think that was the right decision.
Well, maybe depending on who you support will be your opinion on that decision. It certainly hit part of the arm. Looked like it hit the hand, but under what conditions, that's what counts. Here's Letitia McKenna striding forward. Plays it all the way back to Laurie Hughes, who plays it back central. Rebecca Stott stepping up high to switch play. Briley Henry, nice little 1-2. Can't get there though, in behind, and it's the Mariners who have possession again. Well, you can see their intent from that long ball. Didn't quite come off on that occasion.
Absolutely, it's what we've seen from them all season. If there's an opportunity to look in behind and use the pace of that isolated player up front, that's what Central Coast Mariners will be looking for. And particularly against Melbourne City, when they commit so many of their defenders into the attack.
Here comes City, ball stayed in on that far side. Little step over from Ekic, ball in the middle, cleared away.
That was a great ball in from Mina Ekic. Kept it nice on the deck. I think I've been really impressed with her delivery into dangerous areas. Would have liked to see maybe a Melbourne City player making that front post run, really committing to it.
Well, just lurking in that 10 role for City is 15-year-old Shelby McMahon. She's very highly rated. She actually got the club's Player of the Match award in the derby. But maybe it's those instincts that come with experience and come with age to make those sorts of runs.
Well, it's also just taking the risk, I think, and the more you take those risks, the more you are rewarded in those areas, particularly when you've got someone like Ekic who delivers the ball so well across the 6-yard box.
Briley Henry, a ball in behind for Ekic. Ekic cuts inside from the byline into the penalty area, blocked away by Wardlow. And Faye Bryson is there to hoof it upfield. Of course, Melbourne City's regular number 10, Rihanna Policina, on the bench today. She's coming off a little niggle. So no doubt we'll see her in action later in this game.
There we go, good. Good. Face wide. Player.
Ross back in. 1-2 with Hughes. Lee Hughes' pass went astray. And so the Mariners will reclaim the ball from a throw.
It's great hearing Dario Vidicic. He's so vocal on the sideline, isn't he? Knows the importance of this game. Staying in touch, wanting to get the 3 points after that draw last week, really encouraging his team to switch the point of attack, break out of that pressure, so they can utilise the space on the opposite side.
Hannah Wilkinson pressing high on Langman. Langman clears, but only to the City shirt. Oh, now almost Hergemal getting in ahead of Otto. A ball over the top. Badawia chasing it. Barbara, well, she headed it first. I think she wasn't sure whether she was able to claim in that space. Almost a very dangerous situation for City.
Yeah, that square pass from Rebecca Stott. Difficult one for Taylor Otto, in two minds there, and again we see it time and time again. Barbara not really knowing how close she was to the edge of the 18-yard box, taking no chances there, but that just shows you also the skill and the composure of what is an experienced goalkeeper in Brazilian international.
And Tisha McKenna high up the pitch, looked to square it. Good interception from Ash Irwin. It's been a real revelation this season for the Mariners in defence. The foul eventually given. A bit too forceful on Annabelle Martin there.
That City are really wanting to put this Central Coast Mariners defence and ability to play out under pressure. See Carly Ross back in there, right up behind Annabelle Martin, trying to keep them facing back towards their own goal. As we see, they want to get that ball, play it back, look for those spaces in behind the Central Coast Mariners, really try and exploit what is usually quite a narrow and a very attack-minded defensive structure of Melbourne City.
Here goes Bianchi Galich, looking for the 1-2 with Roller Badawea. Can't find it, so City regain possession. Leah Davidson intercepted now. This is a real chance for the Mariners. Kaya Simon, well, her pass just went a little bit astray. I think she was attempting to tuck it in behind, but just seemed to skew off the side of the boot. Couldn't make it through. Very even game so far, and it's probably what we expected. 3rd v 4th, two very quality sides this season, just feeling each other out. Here's McKenna in some space. Letitia McKenna whips the ball in, cleared away. She'll regain possession out wide. McKenna into the penalty area, dangerous areas for the Mariners. Slides it in, and Langman is there. Gobbles that one up all day, Sarah Langman. Mariners regain possession again.
And some wonderful build-up play down this left-hand side from Melbourne City, utilising that space. And again, it's the intention of the crosses into the box that really impressed me about Melbourne City. Keeping them on the deck, looking for the front post, the near post runs. Really dangerous and tough to defend.
Faye Bryson playing it to Ergamal. Ergamal cuts it back. Kaya Simon searching for options. It's gone all the way through here, but fantastic defending from Melbourne City. Karen Bassis out wide, another ball delivered in from Martin. Good defending again from Stott. Martin can't get there ahead of McKenna. Of course, that passing accuracy stat maybe a little bit lower than what we would normally expect for City, but the difference is what you would normally expect in a game where Melbourne City are involved.
Yep, we always expect them to have the majority of possession and that accuracy being up there. That's what they pride themselves on. That is their philosophy of controlling the tempo of the game, controlling possession. There's been a few uncharacteristic errors on that, but you know, credit also to Central Coast Mariners, because they're really trying to push players forward and make it difficult for them to play out from the back.
And this situation here is a very difficult one for the Mariners. It came to McMahon. She just wasn't able to keep the ball under control. The Queenslander played last season for Gold Coast Knights before being signed by Dario Vidicic. Interception up high again. Ball delivered to Amina Ekic. Ekic one-on-one with the keeper. Just hit it straight at Langman in the end. The Mariners get away with that one.
Yeah, I think Amina Ekic will be frustrated. She didn't quite catch that as well as she would have hoped to. But a really quick turnover, and you can see just how quickly Melbourne City can turn that defensive structure into attack. Hannah Wilkinson was a lovely little ball in as well.
Nice footwork from Karen Bassis there to get away from her player, Gamal. Really drifting all the way across the front three. It's come to her again. Ergamal trying to find Badawea. She can reel it in here. Badawea will deliver across towards the back post, but headed away really well by Briley Henry.
It was a great little reverse pass by Hannah Wilkinson there. Ekic wanted to have it first time, maybe could have had a quick touch to compose herself a little bit, would have made the angle a bit tighter, but maybe given her the ability to concentrate and focus on that connection. But also I think for Central Coast Mariners, need to be careful. That came from their throw-in, a square ball into midfield that was turned over.
Look at this press from City. There were 5 Melbourne City players lurking in that front third on the Mariners' possession, but now the Mariners, they've gotten through and it's given them some space, although that pass couldn't find Martin. But that's the game that these two teams are playing and that these two coaches will have in the back of their mind. You can try and play out and create space that way, but it comes at a risk.
Absolutely. As I say, we've got two differing styles of play here, and both teams will be very familiar. We're at this end of the season where you're so familiar with how the opposition play. It's just who executes their game plan better on the day. But we know what to expect. As we say, Central Coast, as soon as they win that ball back, they're pressing high here. They've got plenty of numbers, 6 players pressing Melbourne City.
Well, it's a 4v4 at the back, and City, well, they've gotten away with it because they'll win the throw, but they've still got a bit of work to do here.
Yeah, but they won't stop. I mean, Rebecca Stott is just key for this, crucial for this playing out, and Barbara's an amazing keeper.
Well, that was almost a game of inches there. Kai Simon this time does almost get in the way, but she's let it run through to Bryson. Roll it Badawia from the edge of the area, drags it wide. Well, this game of cat and mouse is so intriguing at the moment.
Yeah, and it is Melbourne City. They will continue playing out. You know, the message won't be stop playing out. The message will be tidy up your passes and stop giving the ball away in dangerous areas. I mean, Badawia probably needs to get that shot on target. She'll be disappointed not to at least give Barbara something to think about.
Well, here we go again. Ball into the area. Barbara, she'll claim. I mean, we don't usually associate Brazilians with goalkeepers. I know that's a funny thing to say, but when she plays, she's so Brazilian in the way that she plays. She is a goalkeeper with techers, and it suits City's style, but I can imagine it must be giving their fans a heart attack.
You can half imagine her trying to nutmeg one of the opposition strikers, can't you? But this is the modern goalkeeping game as well. They're an additional player, and they're crucial, particularly with a team like Melbourne City and their style of play. They need a goalkeeper to be, again, very attack-minded.
Ball cut out by Stott there, was looking for Badawia. Of course, Barbara replacing Canadian Lizzie-Anne Prue, who's gone to sign for Bay FC in the NWSL for a reported Australian record fee. Here comes City. Rossbacken plays it into the middle. McMahon, heavy touch and cleared away by the Mariners. Karen Bassis under some pressure. Kai Simon dropping very deep to help out in that role.
Just again interesting really listening to Dario on the sideline. He was saying be careful Stoddy, and then he said maybe foul Stoddy. Yes, the ball went past. And that's it. They want to press really high, but this is the game. That's the danger and the risk that Melbourne City have within their play. They want their defenders to join into the attacking play. And I mean, Rebecca Scott can do that all day long. I think her and Taylor Otto have been absolutely phenomenal this season for Melbourne City.
To have centre-backs that can control the game the way they do, not many teams can claim that.
Yeah, and that's one of their key principles of play, controlling the tempo, controlling the game, maintaining a lot of possession and actually just wearing the opposition down as well, and continuing to do exactly what they're trying to do with purpose and application.
Riley Henry playing it for Ekic. Nice overlapping run. She'll have to cut inside to keep the ball in play. Back for Henry. Ekic again, trying to get around Wardlow. Wardlow staying nice and touch tight. That ball couldn't make it to Leah Davidson. This time cleared up the line by the Mariners. Badawia was there, and Otto puts it out for a Mariners throw. Wardlow, who just took that throw for the Mariners, she's been a crucial player for them this season. She started all games but one. Actually signed from Fiorentina in Italy, but she is American. So her 21st appearance in the Liberty A-League today in round 21. Oh, nice touch from Bianchi Galich. Those little glimpses of quality in midfield, both Galich and Isabel Gomez certainly have in abundance. That's a nice ball around the corner now. Ergamal looking for runners ahead of her. She'll play a ball through, just too much juice on that for Kaya Simon. I think even in Kaya Simon's younger days, I don't think she was ever quite fast enough to get on the end of that one.
No, and there was Roller Badawiya kind of cutting across as well, and I think Badawiya probably stopped her run because Kaya had continued hers on the outside of Ergamal there. So just that little bit of miscommunication. We could see Kaya after Ergamal played that ball, wanting it a bit more curved around so she could run onto that and give herself a better angle towards goal.
A good determination from the 15-year-old to get that ball away. Here's McKenna. Letitia McKenna striding into the penalty area. Karen Bassis did really well, although her clearance has only gone as far as McMahon, who shoots, and the deflection comes out to Hannah Wilkinson, who makes it 1-0 for Melbourne City. Well, that was pure determination from the teenager, and the home side take the lead.
And it was great work on this left-hand side by Letitia McKenna, really driving towards that byline, wanting to make it difficult to defend, cut that ball back across goal. It was great work on this left-hand side. It's funny because Dario Vidicic was saying, bring it out, switch the play. But I like this, another touch. Maybe looked like she'd done a little bit too much, but a poor clearance from Central Coast Mariners. Loved that shot from Shelby McMahon, nice and positive. And then, I mean, Hannah Wilkinson, that's a proper number 9's poacher's goal, isn't it? Right place, right time.
Well, she is Melbourne City's all-time leading goal scorer. Her 29th in the competition, in her 47th appearance, her 9th now of the season for the Kiwi International. It's been a very even game so far. You thought maybe that one of those playing out from the back, one of those high interceptions was going to be a game changer, and it's proven to be so.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for both teams as well, Taryn. I think Central Coast have had some good opportunities to do that as well. They've played some nice passages of play. Just sometimes that final pass has let them down, but they're still well in this. And I've been impressed with their build-up play. They're trying to play those balls into central areas, get a little knock back in, and switch it into wide areas. You can see what they're trying to do. That Melbourne City, with their very narrow defensive structure, there is opportunity to exploit them in those wide areas, but they just need to improve the quality of the delivery.
Well, there was nothing subtle about that foul from Annabelle Martin there, just stopping Letitia McKenna in her tracks.
Yeah, not too much in that. Easy decision for Kate Jakowitz.
So now an opportunity from a set piece for Melbourne City. McKenna is the one who stands over it. Delivers. Headed away, not convincingly. And it's Rebecca Stott who comes away with it. Out to Briley Henry. Searching for options, back to Stott. Ekic. Henry, Rebecca Stott driving into space, still going here, City. Stott, and appeals for a handball and given. Kate Jakowitz points to the spot, and Melbourne City have an opportunity to make it 2 in quick succession. That was all Rebecca Stott.
I mean, some wonderful little 1-2s there. Stotty being really positive of that play, and I think maybe the difference between that first appeal for handball for Central Coast Mariners, where the ball hit Otto's hand. This one, the ball was kicked up into, I mean, Rebecca Stott here just kept going nice, and Otto, nice little one-touch back. But as the ball came up and she got this second touch, oh, well, I mean, it looked, I must admit, I don't think the replay has actually done any favours there. I'm actually changing my decision. I think that's quite a tough call. Well, they came together, clashing of bodies, didn't they, Tara? And that's a tough one.
Well, we said earlier it might be up to the fans for their own interpretation, but I think that one, even some City fans might be questioning the validity of that decision. But regardless, it's Amina Ekic standing over the ball to make it 2-0 for the home side. And Amina Ekic makes absolutely no mistake, tucked away perfectly into the corner of the net, and City double their lead.
Yeah, wonderful penalty, nice and positive. You mean you knew where Amina Ekic was going to put that, but she put it with pace, precision. Wonderful finish from the spot. But yeah, Central Coast Mariners can feel a little bit hard done by there, and it'll be interesting to have a look back at that first. See, wow. I mean, the slow-mo doesn't do it any favors, does it? In real time, I thought it was a definite penalty. Then we see the replay, and it makes it a little bit difficult to call. So I'll give Kate Jackowitz the benefit of the doubt there, but I think that Central Coast may still feel hard done by, particularly with that earlier incident against Taylor Otto not being called.
It may have rolled, I guess, from her shoulder to her hand, and maybe that's what the referee saw.
Like I said, Tara, I think in real time, I thought it was a penalty.
Well, here goes the Mariners trying to get back into this match. Roller Badawia squares it, and a shot over the crossbar from Kaya Simon. An almost instant reply from the away side. They'll be hurting after that 1-2 punch, and Simon, well, she'll be the leader of trying to haul this back.
And she'll be disappointed in this. We expect a lot more of Kaya Simon. Should have got this on target. Ball bouncing a little bit. You can just see at the point of contact, she just stopped and leaned back rather than continuing her run.
Bad clearance has gone straight to Ergamal. Now Simon again on the edge of the area, strikes, but no power on it. Straight to Barbara. Ergamal almost should have gone first time herself. Now City, this game really has opened up now. Here they come again. Ekic, the scorer of the penalty, driving into the box. It's well defended by Wardlow, and City will have a corner.
Yeah, well, if Central Coast Mariners can take anything, it's that they're still creating chances, and good chances, so they need to maintain that positivity. And again, just improve that final pass, the final effort on target.
It's good to see the fans enjoying themselves, at least. Here comes City again. Short corner, as they want to do. Another way of keeping possession for Vidicic's side. They'll play it out on that far side. Ball delivered back in. Taylor Otto to the edge of the area. Shot from Ekic, and just wide. Well, that was deceptive because it looks like there wasn't quite enough power on it, but it just dipped. Made it difficult for Langman, and it's gone out for another corner.
Yeah, positivity, the confidence of Amina Ekic. Looked a bit awkward, maybe a deflection on the way through. Giving Melbourne City another opportunity. They've been good for set pieces this season. Really like to crowd the keeper, position the ball right in that 6-yard box, right in the middle, and put the opposition goalkeeper under pressure.
Amina Ekic to deliver the corner. Dangerous delivery, headed away, it's come out to Briley Henry, who'll play it out wide. And back in the middle, Langman claims not a problem that time.
In between these two, in between them. That's it. All right, easy now. M. Step up, Tish. Step up, Tish. Now drop a little, Tish. Ball below you, get along with the ball. That's it, just there.
We've got a proper coaching masterclass, don't we? We can hear everything Dario Vidicic says.
And here's a ball through for the Mariners. Ergamal, she's got options in the middle. She cuts back inside instead. Ergamal takes a strike just over the crossbar. And in fact, a deflection, so out for a corner. Much to the dismay of the Melbourne City bench.
And it's the quality we've seen from Ergamal time and time again. Lovely ball through from Faye Bryson. Ergamal positive, head up, having a look. Nice little cut back there. You could see she wanted a shot at goal. Little deflection, maybe a touch. And they've got themselves a corner.
Annabelle Martin will take the corner for the Mariners. You can see the wind howling in the southeast of Melbourne. Ball delivered towards the front post, cleared away, only as far as the edge of the area, but the shot was always rising. And City will have a goal kick.
Yeah, can appreciate what Gomez was trying to do there. Open up her body, play it with the inside of her foot, maybe curl it into the top corner. It just looked like her angle and the angle of the ball didn't quite allow for the best connection. And another good opportunity goes begging.
Nice ball from Wilkinson, although able to be claimed by Langman. Of course, it's too early just yet to be thinking of substitutions, but the Mariners, to help them get back into this game, they've got Peter Trimmis on the bench. He's fresh off top scoring for Australia at the Under-20 Women's Asian Cup, where they recently claimed bronze, third place in that tournament. She scored 3 goals, was the youngest player to be named among the best at the tournament, one of the tournament's rising stars. So she will be utilised at some point today, you would imagine, if the Mariners are still searching for that goal. Here comes Kaya Simon, ball through to Rolla Badawia. Got one defender to beat. Badawia cuts inside, shoots on her left, blocked away. And Barbara is there to claim. Always makes her strikers run at her, Barbara, but she claims it that time.
She did. It was good defending by Carly Ross-Backen, and then Rebecca Stott backing her up here, making it difficult. Rolla Badawia wanted to go right, wanted to go left. Stotty in a good position, just trying to protect that shot to the far post. But positive stuff from Central Coast Mariners. I think they could still be pretty happy with how they're picking the ball up and turning over and transitioning quickly into attacking positions. It's just those final opportunities and testing Barbara a bit more. I don't think Barbara's had a proper save to make. I think Central Coast Mariners will want to improve that in the second half and for the rest of this half as well. You know, having to test the keeper, getting those shots on target. It's all well and good creating the opportunities, but they're making it a bit too easy for Barbara at the moment.
Only 2 shots on target so far for the Mariners, so they certainly will need to be converting their shots more regularly if they are to have a chance of getting back into this game. Wardlow doing really well in the defensive phase on that occasion.
Yeah, it's great. They've got 7 shots, but as you say, Taryn, 2 on target. They want to improve that for the rest of this match, but it does give them confidence that they're going to get chances, and they're going to have chances, they're going to create chances.
Here comes McMahon through the middle. Shelby McMahon, the 15-year-old, cuts inside, shoots just over the crossbar. Well, she's been so impressive so far in her young A-League women's career, and that would have been quite something.
Love that. Loved everything about that from Shelby McMahon. Getting her head up, held off the challenger Gomez. Nice little jink to the inside. Just again, saw what she was trying to do. I thought that was going to keep down, but the ball just kept rising above. But really quality stuff from such a young player. I mean, that's exciting for Melbourne City, isn't it? Having someone of that age with that much quality and that much confidence, especially in the attacking side of things.
Well, she's got huge raps on her. The youngster, still a junior Matilda, not yet graduated into the under-20s. And she's just one of many of a pipeline of talent that's coming through this competition and this country.
Yeah, and I continue saying it, it's wonderful for them to be playing at the top level in the A-League Women's alongside international players at the senior level with so much experience. The Hannah Wilkinsons, the Rebecca Stotts. I mean, this is crucial experience for our next generation of senior Matildas.
Riley Henry couldn't poke that ball past Ash Irwin, although Nikic gets through. Hannah Wilkinson in space, shoots. Just wide from Wilkinson. Close to making it 2 for her on the day, and 3 for City.
Yeah, space definitely opened up for Hannah there. Just trying to pull that into the far post, keep it down. As well, one back. Saw her get her head up, trying to hit that low into that left-hand corner. Just didn't get it on target.
It was Leah Davidson who won the ball. Apologies, not Ekic. Give Davidson her due for some of her techers as well.
Yeah, we've seen that throughout the game. Melbourne City really want to, being on the front foot when they are defending, try and step in front of Central Coast Mariners players to intercept those balls and then transition into an attack very quickly.
Of course, speaking of youngsters, Melbourne City, their bench, Daniela Garlich and also Naomi Chinema, both coming back from that Under-20 Asia Cup tournament as well. Garlich started every single game in that tournament. Naomi Chinema scoring the match winner against South Korea in game 1. Very memorable goal from her. Actually yet to score in the A-League Women, so maybe she'll come off the bench hungry for a goal, but of course normally a centre-back or a full-back at best.
Yeah, it's great to see the depth of both these squads as well towards the back end of the season, with those international players now coming in. Great options for both coaches off the bench.
Interception by Henry, high up the pitch, laid off to Davidson. Laura Hughes. Good work from Hughes, who plays it to McKenna. Cheeky from the teacher McKenna. City still on the ball. Annabelle Martin slides in twice. Doesn't win the ball on either occasion, and City still with it. Ball in the middle. Too close to Langman, who's able to claim. Now this is where the Mariners have to begin to capitalise if they are to get back into this game. Gamal forced to play back.
Impressive work rate for Melbourne City to get back behind the ball there. At the encouragement of Dario Vidicic as well, urging his team to recover, get themselves back into position and get themselves back into a defensive shape. Especially when Central Coast, they do like to transition quickly, but you can just feel that those couple of goals, maybe feeling a bit unfortunate, not taking their chances. Melbourne City have started to build the momentum and get on top in the second half of this first half.
Karen Bass's getting a boot in, trying to intercept. It doesn't go very far. Ekic constantly lurking for City, such a looming threat. McMahon in space. Lays it off to a teammate. I think what's really impressed me about Shelby McMahon today and across her young career so far, she isn't afraid to have a crack. I think sometimes young players, they can be very talented, but it's just that fear of coming up against fully grown adults. McMahon, she doesn't hold back at all. She's constantly running through the center of the park where typically your biggest players are, and she's just not afraid at all, is she?
It's great. It's youthful exuberance, but also you don't want to coach that creativity out of players like Shelby McMahon. You want them to continue taking risks, because you can be conservative, you can be confident in a style of play up until a certain point, but as far as an attacking style is concerned, you want that unpredictability. And it's great to see that she has been given the belief and the confidence to, when she gets the ball, show us what you can do. And what she's showing us is very, very good attacking play.
Faye Bryson can't get there ahead of Ekic, who's doing the work, but that slide tackle was mistimed, so Wardlow will come away with it. Up the line to Ergamal. Ergamal can't get away from Henry. It'll be a Mariners throw on that far side. Ergamal playing forward to Simon. He'll play it back to Karen Bassis. Gets away from McKenna. has an opportunity now for a good delivery. Karambassis still can't get past McKenna, and the Mariners, they'll win a corner instead.
That was good play from Karambassis. I think she was probably hoping maybe she didn't have anyone outside of her there. Everyone had gone into the box and looking for her to cross it, so she had to make something happen, and I thought she did really well actually playing that ball straight down the line towards the byline and forcing Melbourne City into actually defending that, because she didn't have too many options. She was quite isolated.
It'll be the Englishwoman Faye Bryson who'll take the corner for the Mariners. Dangerous delivery, up for the header, it's still bobbing around. No one able to get clear contact, so it'll come back out to Bryson, who'll deliver again. Otto clears it again, headed away to Kaya Simon, who has the ball taken away from her by Leah Davidson. Now City have numbers forward, but Karambassis just stood up to the run of Davidson. Kaya Simon's delivery, headed away by Stott. And Wilkinson will be able to drop deep, just put a foot on it, just calm things down. Well, that was fantastic from Ross Backen, and you can hear the praise of her coach, Daria Vidicic, on the sideline, because it's drawn a yellow card out of Annabelle Martin.
Yep, she did well, Carly Ross Backen, didn't she? Didn't have too many options. Thought, right, I've got pace. I'm going to take on Annabelle Martin, and a little tug of the shirt. I think that's probably the second time that Annabelle Martin's done that. And doesn't get away without a yellow card this time round.
It was the knowing smile from Ross Backen as well. She knew exactly what her aim was with that run, and it came off.
Yeah, absolutely. Play to your strengths. And that's the Carly Ross Backen we love to see after such a long layoff with injury. But also, you know, this style of play and the belief that Dario has in his players to take players on in one-on-one situations, even in their own half. I mean, they play out of pressure so very well.
Ball through the middle. Driving forward is City. But it's cleared away by the Mariners, who had numbers forward. Matawia just couldn't beat Taylor Otto, her countrywoman. And as subtle as that is, that shows how good of a defender the Taylor Otto is, because she's used her body perfectly. Batawia's got height on most people, probably not Otto. And on that occasion was just positioned perfectly. Batawia didn't have a chance.
No, she's had a good season, Taylor Otto. And while, you know, again, sometimes Melbourne City defensively have been left exposed on quick transitional plays, their main focus is actually controlling the tempo of the game and attack being their best form of defence. Now, that comes with it a lot of risks, which they're willing to take. It's that whole principle. We don't mind how many we concede. We just want to score more than we concede. Sometimes that's worked this season, other times not so much, but that is the philosophy that they have employed and that they stick to time and time again.
Well, a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time in this first half for the Mariners to grab a goal before the break, or potentially City to extend their lead. Ball heaved away by the Mariners. Otto trying to win it back. A nice turn from Bianchi Galich. Attempted switch of play. Couldn't beat McKenna though. And City have 1 minute to try and make something happen. They'll opt to keep possession, as is their want instead, and well, that pass straight at Ergamal, almost going astray for Rebecca Stott there, but City somehow managed to keep hold of it. Long ball from Rebecca Stott. You could see what she was trying to do. Langman there to easily claim. Melbourne City in no rush at all, because that is half-time here in the southeast of Melbourne. It's the home side, Melbourne City, who have the 2-goal advantage. A goal to Kiwi international Hannah Wilkinson and a penalty to Amina Rekic is the difference. It's been an eventful half, and the Mariners certainly aren't out of it, but it's very much advantage City as it stands. Half-time, it's Melbourne City 2, Central Coast Mariners 0. So we'll take a look at the highlights in this one, an eventful half-ish.
It was an eventful half. I really like the positivity of this run. Poor clearance by Central Coast, but City had plenty of players around there, and just a typical poacher's goal. Hannah Wilkinson just loitering around the middle of the goal for any deflections, and did really well just to react to that and put Melbourne City 1-0 up.
Good work from the 15-year-old McMahon to shoot in the first place, and Hannah Wilkinson, the ultimate poacher, was there. And then only minutes later, City had themselves a penalty.
Yeah, that's right. Rebecca Stott enticing this penalty, contact with the arm. She'd done 2 little 1-2s to get into that position, and then Amina Rekic knew where it was going, put it away with precision, with pace. No chance for Langman to get anywhere near that to put City 2-0 up.
Well, we'll take a look now at how these stats have played out in this half. City with more possession, we're used to that, but Mariners, they've struggled to convert their shots into shots on target.
Yeah, it's been a relatively even game. I think Melbourne City towards the end of that half were starting to improve their possession stats. But this is it. Central Coast Mariners have had the chances. They've created the opportunities, but just not getting enough shots on target and making Barbara work hard enough.
Well, don't go anywhere. Anything could still happen in this game. 2 of the best sides in the league battling it out in the second half. At halftime, it's Melbourne City 2, Central Coast Mariners 0. Welcome back to City Football Academy in the southeast of Melbourne, where the home side, Melbourne City, currently lead the Central Coast Mariners 2-0. It was goals to Hannah Wilkinson and a penalty to Amina Rekic. That's the difference at the moment. It's been an open game so far, and anything can happen in this second half. I'm joined on commentary again by Alicia Ferguson. Ish, what have you made of these goals so far?
Well, nice positive run down this left-hand side, but a poor clearance from the Central Coast Mariners. Love that Shelby McMahon had the presence of mind. Nice touch there to get a shot on target. Langman, unfortunately, just helping that, palming it right into the path of Hannah Wilkinson, who was in a great position to poke that home.
And then this penalty coming only minutes later. A little bit contentious, Ish.
It was. I thought it was a penalty to begin with, but I think that was a really harsh call in the end by Kate Jakowitz. I think real time for me, it did look like her arm was raised. Amina Ekic just tucking that away with plenty of confidence, but on revision, I think that's probably not a penalty.
Well, the Mariners, they had plenty of opportunities themselves, 7 shots, but only 2 on target in that first half, and that's something that they're going to have to tighten up in this second half.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be continued opportunities to score goals. They want to play quick transitional football against this Melbourne City team who like to control the tempo of the game, but they just need to improve that quality and start getting some better shots on target to actually give Barbara something to do. She really hasn't had to do a lot in the Melbourne City goal.
Well, the Mariners, of course, hoping to get back into this game, and well, they'll be hoping to score not only 2 but 3 goals in order to get them the 3 points. Here's a play comparison. Leah Davidson, Bianchi Galich, both running the midfield for their teams.
Yep, love to see this. Look at that passing accuracy, 92%, 90%. And what the highlight of that for me is that it's not all safe passing backwards and sideways. They're constantly looking to get themselves facing forward and probe and play balls forward rather than just taking the safe option.
Leah Davidson started the season carrying an injury, but she's come back into the season as it's gone on. Her 10th appearance, her 51st in Melbourne City colours as well today. Nish, what would you be saying if you were in that Mariners huddle now?
Just got to keep continuing doing what we're doing and believing that we're going to create chances. Make sure, maintain that tight, compact defensive structure that they've had for the whole season, but just need to tidy up with that quality in the final third.
Well, kick-off in the second half, just moments away now. Hannah Wilkinson, one of the goal scorers, standing over it, waiting the signal from referee Kate Jakowitz. And we are back underway in City Football Academy. It's the home side this time that get us back underway, going from left to right on your screen. We've spoken about what the Mariners have to do to get back into this game, but if you're City, what do you think the message would have been from Daria Vidicic at halftime?
I think more of the same. I think, and I'll just watch this build-up play and then come back to that point, Taram.
Here come the Mariners. Gomez out wide, looking for options in the middle, can't find them. Searching ball into the guts of the City defence. It's cleared away eventually. And now we'll have to look for options to play it out from the back. Almost taken away from Hughes, but Hughes gets it back to Wilkinson. No, Badawea dropping deep, intercepts into the middle for Kaya Simon. All the way back, and it hits the referee on the way through by the looks of it, so it'll have to be a drop ball. Just having a look at a substitution that occurred at halftime as well. Peter Trimmers coming on the pitch for Tiana Karen Bassas. So an attacking substitution from Emily Husband. Peter Trimmers, of course, the 17-year-old coming off scoring 3 goals at the Under-20 Women's Asian Cup in Uzbekistan. So an attacking move from M. Husband.
And the right decision, I think, continuing to put pressure on this Melbourne City defence is what the Mariners need to do in this second half. 2-0, 2 goals down. They've been creating chances, but they need to be more clinical in front of goal. But just back to my point that I started making before, Taryn, Dario Vidicic, we can hear him so vocal on the sideline. He's coaching the team constantly. The things he's talking about are recovery, a positioning in the defensive shape, and also putting pressure on the ball. And they continue to want a high press and gain as much possession as possible.
Here go the Mariners, a shot from distance straight into the gloves of Barbara. Well, it's a shot on target, which we've said they've needed to do, but not really challenging the Brazilian veteran on that occasion.
No, and that's probably the story of the match from the Mariners, isn't it? Of the shots they have got on target, they haven't really troubled Barbara, but they're getting into these good positions where they are creating chances. So now it's just that next step of being more clinical.
Kai Simon takes on the strike, blocked away though by Laura Hughes. And now here comes City. Wilkinson looks to tuck it around the corner for Rekic, but Faye Bryson is there to claim. A lot of attacking intent already from the Mariners in this half.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a quality ball by Langman out towards Annabelle Martin. That diagonal ball, we see Melbourne City play the same ball as well, try and really exploit the width of the pitch. Just ran away from her on that occasion. And also just helps to break any of that high pressing that Melbourne City have.
Well, it's fantastic work again from Badawea, who's able to play the ball on from Ergamal. Now all the way across to Bianchi Galic. Tucks it to Ergamal. Can she get there? Well, she's been pushed. And Kate Jakowitz points to the spot. Does she? She does. A Mariners penalty. Ergamal, such good work to get into the penalty area. She was pushed over, and the Mariners an opportunity to halve the deficit.
Well, I thought Laura Hughes was going to catch her here. Ergamal, look at how quick. Sorry, not Laura Hughes, Briley Henry. Just a little nudge in the back. Ergamal trying to get her body in. Wow. I mean, as soon as you put your hands up to make that contact in the back of the player and they go down, you're pretty much up against it, and I think that was a deserved penalty.
It'll be Kaya Simon to step up to take the penalty. Highly experienced player, of course. You know her goal-scoring quality. Kaya Simon to score for the Mariners, and she puts it wide. Well, that is the last thing that you expect from Kaya Simon. She's missed the frame of goal completely, and that is a huge let-off for Melbourne City.
And straight after that, she stopped and was holding her right calf. Now, whether that had an impact of her striking the ball when she did, but that is a huge missed opportunity for the Mariners to get a goal back.
To put it into context, she was selected in the Matildas World Cup squad potentially just to take a penalty. She's the kind of player that can do that, as we take a look at this again.
Yeah, and I mean, the penalty's one thing, put that couple of yards wide. Just see when she stops, she has a grab at her right calf. She looks in a little bit of discomfort following that. You can see she's trying to stretch it out. Usually when you've done it, your ACL, when you've had a reconstruction, the biggest setbacks are all the little niggling injuries that you have afterwards, and Kaya just doesn't look like she's moving too comfortably out there, but she'll be really disappointed with that. Calf or not, that should have been a goal.
Well, incredibly disappointing for the Mariners. You would have expected that that penalty would give them a goal and get them back within touching distance of City. It would have been the perfect way to start the half, but now they've had a severe missed opportunity, and then possibly also their captain looking very, very proppy.
She's definitely favouring that left leg. I'll just keep an eye on her and just see how freely she can continue moving. I mean, she'd be a big loss if she had to come off at this stage of the game.
Bryson striding into space, cuts inside, still going. Bryson, the Englishwoman with the strike. What a save from Barbara. Well, that is the quality that Melbourne City have brought in. That looked for all money destined into the top of the net. What a save.
Well, Barbara hasn't had a lot to do, but that was dipping in, and that is a world-class save from a quality keeper. Nice strong hand, goes with her right hand, pushes it up and over the bar. That was absolute quality from Barbara.
An opportunity not over for the Mariners. It'll be Bryson who took the shot to take the corner in at the near post. Ergamal, her touch was taken away by Henry, and she follows up to lift it out of play. Ball delivered back into the middle. Barbara, though, able to get there. Badawia just wasn't swift enough with that front post run. We saw just flash up there 10 shots now for the Mariners compared to 8 for City, but it's City who are 2 goals to the good, looking to add to their advantage as well. Well, not a great foul there from Galich, and a yellow card has come straight out from Kate Jakovic. She went out quite hard into that challenge. There's no malice in it, but probably just lost control a little bit in the slide challenge.
I think probably just a little bit of frustration as well. Things aren't going your way, the ball's bouncing around, gets away from you. You know, bit of a lazy lunge in there to try and win the ball back. You know, after 2 really good opportunities, you just feel like sometimes as a player when you're out there, so you've missed a penalty, Faye Bryson's had an amazing strike on goal, and Barbara tips it over, and you just think, oh, we're up against it today. You know, maybe we need to continue on, keep doing all the positive things that we're trying to, but it's been a tough few minutes from Central Coast for Central Coast Mariners.
It'll be City who get us back underway after that foul. Offside flag gives the Mariners a reprieve. 2 players now on a yellow for the Mariners. They've actually had the equal most yellow cards in the competition, so there's 2 more to that tally.
Yeah, they've definitely tried to impose themselves defensively in every game.
There's good tracking back there from Leah Davidson to make sure that that ball around the corner didn't reach its target. It's the Mariners, though, back on it. Bryson played into Simon, who plays it out to Badawia. Roller Badawia. What can she create here? Can she keep it in? She can. No, it's heaved out by Taylor Otto and then helped on its way. Intended for Hannah Wilkinson. Her touch got away from her, so it'll be a Mariners throw.
Well, there's still plenty of space for the Mariners to play, try and get in behind.
Badawea cuts inside, delivers. Well, not threatening the goalkeeper on that occasion. There are some signs, of course. Briley Henry is not usually a defender. She's known as an attacking player. She hasn't scored in about 12 months, Briley Henry, and she's been deployed as of late as a right back. Maybe some signs that the defensive side of her game still needs just a little bit of work. Is a foul given against Leah Davidson, so the Mariners a good set piece opportunity coming up.
Yeah, pretty stock standard foul there. Be interesting to see how they set up here. It's a tough angle when, well, it's not really an angle when you're straight on goal. Central Coast Mariners have players on the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, on the right-hand side of the 18-yard box. Probably too far out for a direct strike on goal, but it's a tough angle to try and curl it one way or the other. I think the percentage would be coming from right to left to this side of the 18-yard box.
taken short. Now delivered into Jasmine Wardlow, who couldn't get a touch. It was a good idea from the Mariners, a move likely practiced on the training ground, just didn't come off.
Well, playing it to the side to improve the angle, and it was a good ball in. For what it looked like, Central Coast Mariners got in front of all the City defenders. Couldn't quite tell from the angle we were watching at how far away it was.
One arm in the air from Jakowitz, suggesting that there was an offside in the build-up from City.
And Taryn, you were talking about Briley Henry before, going from attacking to defensive duties. And I actually think that's a measure of a good coach as well. If you've got players who have technical ability, tactical ability, but maybe are playing in a position that's not playing to their strengths, you need to be prepared to change that for the player.
Badawea putting pressure on and giving away a foul in the process.
I mean, most people who play in attacking positions never want to find themselves in a defensive position.
It speaks to the adaptability of the player as well. Still only 20 years of age.
Well, again, I think maybe it's just not just for the team, but also for the player. We saw it with the likes of Elise Kellen-Knight, who started as a striker and ended up as a holding midfielder.
Faye Bryson delivers towards the back post, headed away. And Peter Trim as well, she's the tallest target to aim for in the box. She's probably got a little bit of height left to go, only 17 years of age, but probably will never be the tallest player on the park.
No, the great thing about the modern game is it's all about having the ball on the deck. You know, we don't tend to, we value the first touch, the second touch. So the stature of players is less important these days.
Here come the Mariners again. Ball delivered, cleared away by Otto. Trimmers trying to make a play of it in the midfield, but very calmly dealt with by City. Henry. Out wide to Amina Rekic. She'll cut back onto a preferred left. Nice little 1-2 with Hughes. Although that time it's intercepted in defence by the Mariners. Charging forward is Ergamal. Offside flag is up though.
And that's what Mariners need to continue looking for. I think Ergamal was tough to see from an angle, but there is space there for those quick transition moments for them if they do win the ball back, to exploit the space on either side of the Melbourne City back three.
This is a welcome sight for Melbourne City. Rihanna Policina coming on the pitch. She's been battling just with a little bit of a niggle in the last couple of weeks. Another player that's been battling with injury, Julia Grosso, coming off the bench for the second week in a row. The American, she's been so impressive at wing back, and it was the loss of her combined with the sale of Caitlin Sorby to San Diego Wave and Lizzie-Anne Prue as well that sort of kick-started a really rough patch for Melbourne City. And they'll be so pleased to have her back on the pitch as well. Here comes Henry, driving into space centrally, still going Briley Henry. She'll play it out wide to Grosso. Grosso delivering into the middle. Well, Wilkinson was there, just couldn't get the final touch. And it will go out for a City corner.
Yeah, must have taken a tiny deflection there. Didn't look like it from this angle, but we'll give the officials the benefit of the doubt. Saw that lovely positive run forward from Briley Henry. Good ball in, dangerous ball in. Yeah, maybe just came off Ashley Irwin there to give City the corner. As Hannah Wilkinson was lurking at that far post again. Just deflected out of her range.
Short corner taken. Ball delivered into the box. Can't get past Bryson. It'll be out for another corner. Confirmation that it was Letitia McKenna who made way for Julia Grosso. Another corner in. Dangerous area again. And this time cleared more decisively by the Mariners. Still a City throw, but they've gotten it out of their penalty area at least. Nice little 1-2. Hughes trying to play it forward, cut out by Bryson. And now Gomez playing it forward again. Simon dropping deep, seems to have run off that little niggle after missing the penalty earlier. If Simon does need to go off, she's playing as more of that 10 role in this side. Interestingly, Peter Trimmis actually came on to play that role in the third place playoff. Dropped into that 10 role after playing as the 9. Here come the Mariners now. I'll hold that thought. Here she is on the ball, Trimmis. Forced to play it back to Wardlow, and then Wardlow's ball in between two players. Bit of a miscommunication there. And that ball from Simon, it was a no-look pass, but it was no look straight to McMahon. Here's Policina, fresh off the bench. Policina, ball through to Julia Grosso. Look at that pace from Grosso. Julia Grosso in the penalty area, turning away, takes the shot on her left. Deflection has gone past everyone. Ball's still live. Amina Ekic. Can she come back on her left? Ekic shoots. Not enough power on it in the end. And Langman can collect. And that's the pace of Julia Grosso, and that's what Melbourne City have been missing.
That's right, but needs to be tidying up. Kaya Simon there trying to play that ball around the corner. When they're 2 goals down, under pressure. Julia Grosso, nice and positive here. I like how she spun back out, trying to get that on her preferred left foot. Good ball across. I like this from Amina Ekic. Look, didn't have to rush the ball back in. Had a look, lots of bodies. All right, I'm going to have a go myself. Just didn't quite catch it. And Sarah Langman took that comfortably.
Badawea has the ball taken away from her by Hughes. She'll receive the throw from Ergamal instead. And just lost her footing. It was good work by Hughes to stay with her player. And Barbara will have the goal kick.
And you just get the sense that as this game goes on, Melbourne City have continued to be strong towards the back end of games. They keep playing with the same philosophy, with the same purpose.
That was a nice touch from the Mariners midfield. Although that ball, again, it's played blind. It was with the expectation that there would be a player there, and there wasn't.
Yeah, and sorry, as I paused, I was just waiting to see how that play developed, but it does look like there's a little bit of fatigue coming in here now. You know, decision-making not quite what it should be. I think this is where Melbourne City, with the strength of their substitutes coming on, Central Coast just need to find another gear. They've just dropped off a little bit.
Policina driving into space. Grosso again. Can't beat her player on that occasion. Play it back to McMahon and then to Hughes. Otto forward to Wilkinson. Out wide to Grosso. Grosso, great work, dinks inside. Policina can't get past Wardlow. She'll play it back to Briley Henry, who shoots over the crossbar from Henry, but good from City.
Yeah, nice little link-up play there. Little 1-2s, Hannah Wilkinson. Ball got bounced into her feet. Nice and strong against the Central Coast defenders. Again, Julia Grosso loves taking players on. Tricky here from Policina. Just leaning back again on that point of contact rather than following through, keeping the head over the ball for Briley Henry.
She noted the strength of Melbourne City's bench before the game, and of course Grosso and Policina on there enforced through injury as Trimmis attempts to play a ball through but is cut out by Rebecca Stott. but you have players like that on your bench ready to come on with 30 or so minutes to go, and what a difference they're already making in this game.
They really have, haven't they? And then if you look, they've got Daniela Garlich and Naomi Chinema as well. Some really impressive young players to come on. So how are they going to make the difference? And at the moment, I think Central Coast Mariners don't look too dangerous in that attacking third. They look a little bit fatigued. Obviously probably disappointed those 2 chances, the penalty and Faye Bryson's shot. Didn't get any luck with that.
Here goes Trimis. Can't get past Ross Backen, out for a Mariners corner.
But just continuing on with that point, you know, missed penalty and then a wonderful save by Barbara. And as a player, of course, you want to maintain that positivity in the game. But sometimes it can just take you a little while to gain that confidence again and that momentum when you just think, oh, right, this is going to be a tough day at the office. We'll keep trying, we'll keep probing, we'll keep doing all the things that we've worked on, but we just need a bit of luck.
Will they find their luck here? Bryson, dangerous delivery, headed away by Wilkinson. Tallest player on the park, doing her defensive work as well as her attack. Mariners still on the ball. Delivered back in from distance, headed over. Ergemal gets it out wide to Kaya Simon, who just shanks the shot there, Kaya Simon. That is not what she intended to do with that, and she's frustrated. You can see it all over her face.
Yeah, well, it's much of the same, isn't it? And I think on reflection, Emily Husband and her team have got themselves into good positions. Questions, could Kaya have taken a touch onto her left foot? I mean, it did sit up quite nicely. Maybe the angle and her body shape wasn't quite aligned to having that on the half volley.
Well, Simon, she's had 7 shots this afternoon, the most out of any player on the pitch, so maybe not her most successful game or the one she would have envisaged.
No, again, we expect a lot from Kaya and her quality. She's an experienced international. She's an experienced goal scorer. She's usually so clinical. I was half expecting to see that replay of Barbara nutmegging someone there. Sorry for stopping, but it was something that I'd missed in the real time. I was absolutely after what we'd spoken about with her. But just going back to Kaya Simon, she'll be disappointed with that as well. You know, those stats for her aren't good enough. She is a goal scorer. She is usually clinical, and she is just having one of those days, I think. And sometimes you can try all the right things, and it's just not your day.
Well, here is Daniela Garlich making her way onto the pitch for Hannah Wilkinson, the first goal scorer in this game. Garlich, such a highly rated youngster, only 17 years of age. She actually made the next-gen list of players to watch, the only Australian on that list. So some international recognition for her as well. She started all 5 games at the Asia Cup, scored a goal against Uzbekistan as well. She's such a bright young talent and such an asset for this City side as well. Already 6 goals this season. They'll be thrilled to have her back.
Yeah, it's exciting to have such quality in our youngsters. And someone like Daniela Garlich, she's just so versatile. I think that's what I love about her. You know, she's got the stature, but she likes to take people on, her technical ability and her tactical awareness, and she has that versatility as well. So I think, again, another great substitution to have on the bench and something up your sleeve for the last 20 minutes of this match.
City's other players who went to that tournament, Naomi Chinema still on the bench. She's a defender, so maybe a little bit trickier for her to find her way onto the pitch as a substitute. And also Tian McKenna, who's not in the matchday squad today, although the sister of Letitia McKenna, who started the match, both from West Australia originally, and now plying their trade for Melbourne City. Faye Bryson for the Mariners, into the box, headed across. No one there though at the back post. Trimis just not quick enough to make that run and get there on time.
Yeah, I thought potentially could have Badawia maybe tried to bring that ball down, but the sun's at a difficult angle as well. We can see the shadow on this left-hand side of Barbara's face. So probably starting to set quite low. And it's difficult as that ball comes in to get your line of sight.
Certainly has seemed like the air has been sucked out of the game a little bit, really since that Barbara save. Although here they come, the Mariners. Lovely touch from Simon, still going. Kai Simon, can she fashion something? It's blocked away by Otto. Well, she kept going there, Simon. Somehow kept the ball, but City were able to clear.
Yeah, love the little stop turn back from Kaya to try and get it on her right foot to curl it into the far post, but City's defence all day has been resolute. They've been compact, they've been closing the ball down well, and they've really shut down any real clear-cut opportunities that the Mariners are trying to create. Wonderful first touch there from Kaya, head up. Got a little bit of luck there. Tried to Taylor Otto, ball to the face. I think she got one last week as well, I saw when I was doing the victory derby. Just walks it off. She's all good.
It didn't stop her stride at all.
Didn't stop her stride. I'm not even sure she blinked when it hit her face. Just, yeah, right, here we go. But nice positive from Kaya, but as you say, maybe the life being sucked a little bit out of the Mariners, but they just need to keep going.
We've seen the goal scoring that they are capable of, the likes of Ergamal on the pitch, Peter Trimmis as a substitute, of course Kaya Simon, although that's a poor touchback, and a ball through from Garlich. Great goalkeeping from Sarah Langman, getting in ahead of Julia Grosso.
Yeah, another turnover in a dangerous position. Kaya maybe not at 100%, not firing on all cylinders. Did see her just grabbing her calf after she took that penalty. I mean, not really to anyone. Langman did well, nice and bursting out to shut down that opportunity. Dario Vidicic before, I mean, we've heard so much of him coaching on the sideline from this game, saying, come on girls, don't get lazy, keep the work rate up. Which is exactly what we've seen in the latter stages of every match for Melbourne City. They really maintain that intensity from start to finish.
Even there, Julia Grosso cutting off the passing option for Asho and forcing her to go all the way back to her keeper, who has to assess her options and play it long. And it's ended up with the ball on Amina Ekic's feet. Ekic against Wardlow. Lovely ball in behind. Rihanna Policina squares it all the way across and at the back post. What a save from Sarah Langman. That is classy from the 28-year-old goalkeeper. And it prevents City's third.
Well, lovely vision from Amina Ekic. Policina did well. She held her ground. Amina Ekic, look, Policina just held her ground there. Didn't want to shoot, just rolled it across the goal. Just out of reach of Daniela Garlich. Could she have slid in there? Made it a tighter angle for Julia Grosso, but Sarah Langman did well at the near post.
These substitutes again, combining Grosso's pace. Garlich was there. Policina involved as well. She'll take this corner. Policina delivering. It's cleared just about, and now this time it's heaved out for a City throw. So the fifth save of the game for Langman came in today in place of Casey Dumont, who actually has the highest save percentage in the league, Casey Dumont, although only from 9 appearances. So they're certainly spoilt for choice for goalkeepers and the Mariners. This will make it Langman's 9th of the season as well. City on the ball, little 1-2, Garlich goes to ground, appealing for the penalty, not given that time. They've still got it though. Stott will play it across Ekic. Well, just let the touch get away from her, and maybe that's the impact of playing 76 minutes. Wasn't quite as sprightly as she may once have been. Trimmers fouled as she attempted the counter.
Well, a couple little shouts there. Kate Jackowicz didn't want anything of it. We've got oh, there's a little step on the foot. The ball had gone. I think maybe Garlich, that one. It was Gomez with the contact. Could have been a question mark, but Kate Jackowicz wasn't having any of it. I mean, 3 penalties in 1 game. Busy day at the office for her if she's making that decision. But it was definitely a shout for it.
Of course, no VAR in the A-League Women's. Kate Jackowicz is one of the most experienced and arguably best referees in the competition. Hasn't refereed a game since New Year's Eve, so she's been out with injury as of recently. So this is her first game back in quite a while. It certainly has been a busy day this afternoon.
Yep, she's had some big decisions to make, but she's hugely experienced. But I think sometimes, even as a player, when you've been out for so long with injury, just that game reading and game awareness, sometimes, you know, you get into the momentum of it, takes you a little while.
Here comes Ekic. Ball through. Well, it was for Henry, who just took her time to bump her defender out of the way before going to collect the ball. Nice turn from Ekic, who shoots. Owen gets in the way, and Wardlow will clear. Just a tick under 12 minutes now of regulation time to go for the Mariners to get back into this one, but it's City who is still creating opportunities. Yeah,
it was definitely sneaking into the far post. Good for the Mariners to get in the way of that, but really they're starting to really boss this game in terms of possession and the tempo.
Ball played up the line for Badawaya. Roller Badawaya can't beat McMahon. The youngster showing that it's not just with the ball at her feet that she's got talent, it's willing to do the defensive grunt work as well.
Impressive, isn't she? Be interesting to see here Emily Husband just having a chat. Maybe not just a substitution, but a potential tactical change. I mean, you're 2-0 down, you may as well go for it, whether it's committing more players forward, slightly changing a formation, taking a few more risks with how many players you keep back.
Well, the attacking substitutions she can make, maybe Annalise Rasmussen. The Gosford girls had 2 goals this season. Paige Haywood as well is capable going forward. Be interesting to see what she decides for the last 10 minutes of regular time. Bryson delivers a ball in, beats everyone, and goes out for a corner in the end. So what can the Mariners fashion from this set piece? They've got bodies for Jasmine Wardlow, an obvious target. Faye Bryson delivers. Ergamal gets a touch, although taken away really well by Briley Henry. Ergamal trying to thread it back through to Simon. He's unable to do so. Well, City not really committing numbers forward at this stage. 10 minutes to go. It's all about game management now for them. Maintaining this lead. Julia Grosso being urged to drive by her coach. And gets a yellow card for her trouble. A little bit too exuberant on the Mariners player. Looks like Ash Irwin was the victim of that challenge. And physio assistance will be required. Hopefully that's nothing too serious.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to have another look at this. Julia Grosso doing what Julia Grosso does, doesn't she? I'm not sure about the yellow card there. I think she still had the ball, but Kate Jackowicz was over pretty quickly, wasn't she? Ball here. Well, maybe just the follow through. Yeah, on Ash Irwin's on her shin, just under her shin pad. did look, by the time Julia Grosso got there, her studs were raised, weren't they? But it was almost like it just scuffed off the top of the ball and into Ash Irwin's shin.
Well, it's all academic in the Liberty A-League because, again, as we know, no VAR, but we've actually seen similar incidences in the A-League men's this season where players have been on the ball, they've come through a bit more forceful than that, mind you, with the kind of sliding challenge, and they've actually been upgraded to reds. So I don't think it was a red card on that occasion. I don't think that that would be justified, but it is an interesting idea. If we had VAR, I wonder what they would have said about that challenge.
Well, again, it's always in slow motion, isn't it? But she just, look, it was clumsy. The ball had kind of gone away from her, it bounced inside, and as she tried to take that other touch, she's lunging with her right foot, her studs are up. It's a dangerous challenge. There was no intent in it. So I think, sure, on reflection, yep, for the dangerous for the dangerous nature of it, you know, studs in the shin is pretty painful and pretty dangerous as well. It was the right decision to give a yellow card, but nothing more.
Certainly no malice. That's Julia Grosso, as you say, firing on all cylinders. She's certainly the kind of player who doesn't stop running up and down those flanks. She always gives her all. You can always guarantee that from Grosso. She's so speedy. You wonder, of course, she's had injuries this season, and this is her second appearance back coming off the bench. You wonder if she hadn't have had those injuries, she might have actually been one of those players sold overseas, because she's been so good. You just wonder. She's certainly of that kind of quality.
Well, I think the league and Melbourne City are all the better for Julia Grosso staying here, and if that is unfortunately due to injury, that's unfortunate for her, but it's great to have a player of her caliber in the league.
Well, we're seeing substitutions now for the Mariners. It's Annalise Rasmussen coming onto the pitch. Ash Irwin being forced to withdraw, although whether that was planned or not remains to be seen. Paige Hayward is the other player who comes onto the pitch, former Adelaide United player for 2 seasons. Scored her first goal in the league this season, so is capable of creating something for the Mariners. They'll need everything that they can possibly get now. Rasmussen, of course, the local player, grew up in Gosford, only 18 years of age. She'll be really hoping to make her mark for her local side.
Yeah, good to see fresh legs on for the Mariners as well. I think Rolla Badawia just started to look like she was fatiguing in the last 5 or 10 minutes.
High interception now, delivered towards the back post. Otto deals with it. Ergamal certain that there was a handball there. We'll have to see a replay of that, reminiscent of an incident in the first half. Here comes City on the counter. Rekic trying to get away from Trimmis. Can't escape the attentions of the youngster, although does so then. And Trimmis wins out in the end. The Mariners back on the ball. Bryson. And Trimmis probably made the wrong option there. And now here's Policina. Can play it out to Grosso. In lots of space out wide. Julia Grosso tucks it around the corner, looking for Hughes, but Annabelle Martin, well, does well in the end. Let's take a look at this potential handball again.
No, it's hard to see from that angle. I'm not getting involved in that one, Tara. There's been a few debatable, questionable ones that we've had a look at, isn't there? But it was hard to see from that. I think her arm was next to her. You can see her shrugging her shoulder up, trying to keep her arm close to her body. So that would have been a very harsh call.
On first view, I absolutely agree with you there.
Yeah. It's been an afternoon of indecision on my behalf with some of those penalty decisions.
Grosso, ball looking to get over the top of the Mariners' defence. Isabel Gomez does really well, but then gives away the foul. So it'll be an opportunity from a wide set piece for Melbourne City. They'll take it short. All the way back to Rossbacken. Delivering into the middle. Policina in space. Policina squares it. And that's 3 for Melbourne City. Taylor Otto in the right place at the right time to tuck it home. Her second goal of the season. And that's game over in Southeast Melbourne.
Love to see it when the defenders get a goal to their name. It was a great delivery in, nice and good. But look at that ball there. A little bit of luck, a little bit of a deflection. But Policina's done this a couple of times since she's come on. Just a nice little calm compose on the deck, easy to finish. I mean, nice little tap in to end what has been a very good game from Taylor Otto and also from Melbourne City.
The absolute delight on her face.
When defenders score goals that aren't necessarily from set pieces, there's sometimes a look of absolute delight, maybe a little bit of surprise, but a nice little tap in for Taylor Otto, well deserved.
Well, you'd imagine now that has taken the game out of sight of the Mariners. They will keep pushing. Trimis trying to get the ball in, will win a corner. But it's very difficult to imagine them overturning this 3-goal deficit now. It does look like Melbourne City's unbeaten record at this ground at the City Football Academy will extend to 6 games. And they're hitting good form again right at the right time, right at the right part of the season. Ball delivered towards the back post, headed away. Lovely touch over by Policina. Ball delivered back in, and this time the keeper will claim.
Well, there won't be any rush for Carly Rossbacken to get up in the last few minutes of the game. It's all tied up, all done and dusted. She's had a great game today as well. I really think that back three of Melbourne City is starting to have a really strong understanding with each other. Rebecca Stott at the heart of that. Taylor Otto on one side and Carly Rossbacken on the other. All very attack-minded players, very proficient with the ball, not just on the defensive side of things, but love getting involved in the attacking side of their play too.
Well, City now, they're temporarily top of the ladder, and don't be fooled by that whistle. That whistle came from an adjacent ground. We've still got a few minutes of play left to go in this game, but this result will put Melbourne City temporarily back on top of the table. Of course, Sydney FC play tomorrow. They've also got a game in hand as well. And we will see the introduction of our final young Matilda to come back onto the pitch for this game, Naomi Chinema. She scored the winner in Uzbekistan in Game 1 against South Korea that became such an iconic moment of that tournament. She was such an important part of Leah Blaney's side, and now a few minutes of game time to really show what she can do and be introduced back into the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. And to take no risks with Carly Rossbacken as well. They've won the game. They've won the game comfortably. So now's the time to make the change and protect your players.
So 7 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Mariners, they'll keep pushing the scoreline. It's a little bit deceptive for how this game has gone. Peter Trimis bursting forward. The offside flag will deny her the opportunity to whip in a ball. We'll see a final substitution for the Mariners as well. Alexia Carey-Stahl coming on the pitch. She'll replace Kaya Simon. In positive news for Kaya Simon, it's the longest that she's had on the pitch since her injury. She's normally been coming off around the 75-minute mark. But she'll be bitterly disappointed, missing a penalty in the second half, having 7 shots, but not able to put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, she'll be frustrated with herself. She's had some decent opportunities. That penalty, you know, you put your house and your car and everything on it for Kaya to score that. And then even after it, she did pull up and started holding her calf, which was a bit of a concern, but seemed to, you know, run it off eventually, maybe being a bit more conservative, protecting herself. It's always difficult. She's experienced. She wants to score goals. She's also the captain. You know, it's tough to put your hand up if you're not feeling 100%. You want to stay on and help your team get back into the game, especially when you've missed so many opportunities.
Here comes City. Julia Grosso charging up that left-hand side. Cuts inside, beats one. Trying to beat two. She'll play it back to Garlich instead. Amina Rekic now. Back to Garlich, if she can reel it in. She can, and she wins a corner as a result. Corner taken short. Rekic can't get it past Annabelle Martin. Lergamal and Henry getting in a little bit of a scuffle. Everyone decided to reel it in before anything got too serious.
Yeah, and good officiating by Kate Jacko. Just let it play on. You've maintained possession. Probably a bit of frustration from Ergamal there as well. Tough day at the office for the Central Coast Mariners team, especially after such a good run of wins, 4 in a row. So that streak's now gone. Policina
delivers, headed away. Someone in the crowd yelled handball. That sounded extremely ambitious on that occasion.
Going for another one, Taryn.
Taylor Otto. Policina again. And that pass just missing the target. Probably the first sign that she's shown of being short of a run, because she's just been fantastic since coming on this afternoon.
Yeah, well, she's got that quality, isn't she? She loves being in that nice little number 10 role where she can dart around, be that link between the midfield, try and probe in those nice little gaps, little angled passes. She started the season strong, probably dropped off a little bit. We didn't see as much of her, didn't notice as much of her, and then coming back after that injury.
Bryson will drop deep and collect the ball there. And you can see what Langman was trying to do, was trying to hit Trimmers, but has just found City players instead. Hughes looking for space. Laura Hughes kept possession of the ball really well. She's played it back to Henry. Lovely turn away from McMahon, who looks like she's on track to play the full 90-plus stoppage time as a 15-year-old. Her second start in a row, her 4th appearance in the league's been very impressive this afternoon. Policina turning away from Gomez and trying to find Grosso. Can't do so. Daniela Garlich playing it forward to Policina, whose touch just evaded her. Now Peter Trimmers looking to make a run. Arms up in frustration. Where are the runners? She seems to be saying. Ball lofted over the top to try and get back to her, but City were back in defence and she didn't have any space to operate in. High interception from Garlich, but ball taken away from her once more. Mariners just not really able to get a good foot on stoppage time. City players seem to always be there, always in the way, and preventing anything clear-cut presenting itself for them. Now here's a ball poked through. Julia Grosso was offside.
Well, it was a great run from Peter Trimmis for the Mariners before, and you saw her put her arms up in frustration, and I felt her frustration because all her players were running away from her. I think what she was looking for, someone to check off, just come and play with me, look for a little 1-2, rather than trying to sit on the shoulders behind the City defenders. What she wanted was that nice little combination play as she got closer to the 18-yard box, and rightfully so, would have been frustrated that none of her players were on the same page.
Okay, Jakowitz glances at the watch, looks around. And that is full time at City Football Academy. Melbourne City temporarily go top of the league, at least until Sydney FC play tomorrow. It was a commanding performance from them, although perhaps the game was closer than the scoreline suggested. Goals to Hannah Wilkinson, Taylor Otto and Amina Rekic from the penalty spot. From the Mariners side of things, Kaya Simon missed a penalty in the second half, could have made it 2-1. They had their chances. Barbara made some fantastic saves, particularly one in the second half as well, the Brazilian goalkeeper. But at full time, it's Melbourne City 3, Central Coast Mariners 0.
Well, it was a strong start here. Like Shelby McMahon had the presence of mind, had that touch first, stretching, got something on target. I think Sarah Langman, it's tough, palmed it right into Hannah Wilkinson, who could just poke that home, and Rebecca Stott trying to join in the attack here. Little 1-2, ball bounced up, coming together of the bodies. Kate Jakowitz decided that was a penalty, which Amina Rekic tucked away confidently. No questions there, given Sarah Langman no opportunity, couldn't get near it. It was a lovely finish from Amina Rekic.
So those were the goals in the first half, and then the Mariners came out really strongly in the second. They were awarded this penalty, and then Kaya Simon missed the frame of goal.
Yeah, it was a frustrating afternoon for Kaya. She had some shots, but not really many on target. Had the most shots of the Central Coast Mariners, and then, I mean, Barbara not being tested too much by the Mariners for the rest of the game. Faye Bryson, what a strike, but equally, what a world-class save from the Brazilian.
And then there's the icing on the cake for City. Taylor Otto, wasn't she absolutely delighted with that one?
Yeah, and more great play from Policina since she came on as well. She played a few of those nice little balls across the 6-yard box in dangerous areas, and on this occasion, Taylor Otto could tuck that in right in the centre of the goal.
Well, we'll take a look at the stats. They show the game was a very even one. The Mariners actually ending up with more shots, but those shots on target cost them in the end.
Yeah, I think they'll be frustrated. Happy that they were creating chances, but just not happy that they weren't testing Melbourne City's keeper, Barbara, or not getting enough shots on target. A real opportunity missed for Central Coast Mariners.
Well, Melbourne City, they'll go into tomorrow at least top of the table. Both these sides already securing a finals place, but both will be wanting to enter that finals discussion in good form. The Mariners, one more week of the regular season to do just that. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. It's been a pleasure. My name is Taryn Haddo, and I've been joined by Alicia Ferguson. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and goodbye.